Today I got a different review for you. I've got a GameSir controller here. This is the G7 Pro. They gave me this to review. All thoughts are my own because I'm not really a controller player. I mainly am a keyboard and mouse player, and I pick up the DualSense 5 controller because I've got a PlayStation 5, but sometimes I use it on PC, on Steam for games, you know, like Spyro or Ratchet and Clank that kind of need a controller over using keyboard and mouse. So this is just a quick unboxing. They basically told me just unbox it, see what you feel of the controller, and play a bit of games and see actually what you actually think of it. So this is super quick. Here's the box. I'm going to open it. I did take the lid off already, and here is the colorway. This is the Red Ember, which they asked me to pick a color, and I basically said the red one because I thought it looked cool, and in person it does look pretty cool. It looks quite semi-transparent here, it seems, which is awesome. And I did look into it. You can change the faceplate as well, so if you fancy changing it a little bit, you can. So let's take this out of the box. So you do have a charging dock here, and this in the bottom, if I can open it and show you, I don't have any nails, so that's a bit more difficult. You can hide the dongle in there to store it, basically. So that's a good use of that. So let's just put this on here for a moment. It charges with pogo pins. You got the USB dongle because it's tri-mode, which means you can have 2.4 gigahertz dongle, Bluetooth, which is good because I actually play games on my iPad sometimes via Steam Link, so I stream to my iPad. 2.4 gigahertz dongle, it's Bluetooth, and as well it's wired there, so you can charge it via the dock, you can charge it via the wired as well, depending on, or play whether it's wired. Got two extra little accessories here. So this is more like a PlayStation D-pad, and this is more like an Xbox D-pad. The default D-pad is more like a circular one, kind of like how the original Steam controller was. I quite like the PlayStation style D-pad because it's all individual buttons, just like this. So let's have a look at the controller itself, and I'm actually going to compare it personally to the DualSense, which is what I use mainly for Steam. The weight, I would actually say they're roughly on par. I think the weight distribution is slightly different because obviously the body's a bit bigger, while this PlayStation controller is a little bit slimmer in the middle, while this can distribute the weight a bit better. It does have a 1200 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty good. And because these sticks, I did do a bit of Googling, because these sticks are TMR compared to normal Hall Effect. This is a Hall Effect keyboard. These are TMR, which is Hall Effect, but TMR is basically an upgraded version of Hall Effect. So they're a bit more accurate, as well as they're a bit more less on power consumption, which means technically it should last longer. There is a cool cable retention clip here, so if you put your USB Type-C cable through this and plug it in and then push that back down, it one, pushes the cable slightly further away from your hand, and two, stops you just like yanking it out all of a sudden, which is pretty cool because it holds it in via how wide this gap is here. I've never had a controller that has micro switches, but what's also cool on the back here, you've got, I did have a SCUF controller for Xbox 360, but so you've got the cool trigger buttons on the back, but you can lock them. I've locked this one and you can't push that, but if you push this to the side, if you unlock it, you can now push it again, which is pretty cool. The middle one is basically for Bluetooth or dongle. Now these two at the back is actually pretty cool. So you've got Hall Effect adaptive triggers here, or you can switch it and have a micro switch. Hall Effect, micro switch. And you can do it on either side. So if you want this one as a full Hall Effect trigger, so if you want this to zoom in with a sniper, for example, and do Hall Effect, and you want a quick, or if you want a quick shoot, that's just a micro trigger right there. Or if you're racing, you can do an adaptive trigger and accelerate slowly like that if you want, which I think is a pretty cool option. It gives you multiple different options compared to just the adaptive triggers on the PlayStation. You also get micro triggers up here, like the micro optical switches up here as well, which feel actually quite nice. I've never actually had a controller with micro switches, and it seems like the ABX and Y as well is also. 3.5mm jack, as well as a mute button as well on the bottom. So you do have quite a few options for this, which is quite nice. The official price for the UK is £81.99 at this moment in time for Black Friday. Usually I think it's £89.99, which actually I don't think is too bad considering what you get compared to a first party controller, which is usually about £65 I think at some point, like Argos. So yeah, I've got not much else to say, to be honest, because I don't really review controllers. They just told me, tell me what you think about it. So what we'll do is I will play some game. I'll get some game in the background and have a go with the controller and see what I think. Before I play a game, I'm just going to show you the actual website itself. So here's the GameSir G7 Pro and what it looks like in real life compared to what it looks like on the computer screen. So it looks pretty damn accurate, to be honest. They do have a different colorway. They do have a white, but I thought this one would go with my setup a bit better. And they do have some Game Collab ones as well. So you can see £81.99 for the Black Friday sale, usually £90. It is on Amazon as well. So that is pretty cool. They sponsor Team Complexity at this moment in time. But here you go, the TMR sticks. So it's a 1000 Hertz polling rate and high durability of 5 million. It usually would be clicks for like buttons and things, but this is basically, I don't know what you would class it as, 5 million circles. Just doing this constantly, basically being used for 5 million of this, basically, compared to first party controllers, which usually don't last as long. Got a 12-bit industrial grade ADC chip. I have no idea what that is, so if someone in the comments below would tell me what that is, I would assume it's something to do with like a little CPU, basically tells it wherever it is, something like that, a little chip. Joystick resolution of 1496. Obviously we know what resolution is in terms of screen sizes, but resolution for this just means in terms of how much data is actually being transferred. Hall effect analog triggers, as I was saying, these have Hall effect triggers, but as well as you can switch it to micro triggers as well. As you can hear, these ones, I think these ones are like the normal. I think these ones are like the normal bumpers that you get, but the little one and the normal trigger, the shooting and zooming trigger, basically L1 or LT or RT, basically are Hall effect or micro switch, where these are normal bumpers. So you got Hall effect or micro switches, which is pretty cool. It's got a gyroscope, basically like all controllers these days, it has a gyroscope. 4 extra buttons, which is pretty cool, the mini bumpers and the lockable back buttons, as I was saying. PC, wired, wireless and Bluetooth, which is cool because I do want to play it on my iPad, and having it Bluetooth would be pretty cool. You can play it wired, but having it wireless would be pretty cool. Optical micro switches here, and they are compatible with changing the faceplate with the G7 series faceplates, as it says here, which is pretty cool. And you just detach it magnetically in 3 points, which is awesome as well. I do like how they use magnets and it's not just screws everywhere, which can be a pain in the butt, especially trying to get a screwdriver, and then if you want to change it, if your faceplate breaks, you have to change it with a screwdriver. Magnetic all the way for me personally. 1200 milliamp rechargeable battery, that's pretty good for a controller, I would say. 1200 milliamp hour, especially with the TMR sticks, which are a bit more energy efficient, should last longer. 4 rumble motors. I didn't know that until I've actually just read that. That's actually pretty cool because usually controllers have 1 rumble motor in each of the hand grips. Having 4 rumble motors, okay, there's one at the top as well, I think it is. So there's 1 here, 2 here, and 1 at the top, I think, because that's what it's showing. So that's pretty good. The vibrational, when I'm in game, I'll see what the vibration's like. It might be quite strong, which I would like. 3.5mm audio wired and 2.4 gigahertz wired audio. Oh, that's cool. So you can actually connect a wireless Bluetooth headset to it, like an Audi's Maxwell. That's pretty cool. It means you don't have to have a wire. You can actually connect an Audi's Maxwell to it, or any other Bluetooth headset to that. I kind of like that idea. I did say the rubberized textured grips. These are all accessories you do get in the box, as well as, if you look down here, you can get thumb grips, different face plates, so you can get yellow, blue, black, red. You've got also, oh, you've got like a neon green looking one. You've got some anti-friction rings that go on the actual thumbsticks themselves. You can check, you've got an, oh yes, the USB cable is 3 meters. It did look quite long in the box. 3 meters is quite a cable, which means that if your console is sat on a console table in your media center on your TV stand, you can sit on the sofa and be 3 meters away. 3 meters is around about 9 feet. So that's pretty good. So there, I shall get into some gameplay. I just wanted to show you what the website is like, and we will get into the gameplay now. Right, I've got Ratchet & Clank going and just loaded it up, and this does feel quite nice. Now we'll lock this. So you got like a quick trigger compared to a slow. See, look, this is slow. Like I have to pull it all the way down to zoom in. While if I lock it, it's basically instant. That shoot, if I can lock it, oh wow, that's rapid. That's actually like a lot quicker for the shooting, having a micro one rather than having a micro trigger rather than an adaptive trigger. So we'll play a bit of this. We'll keep this shoot on the micro optical, and we'll have this one as the adaptive lock / zoom, and we'll see what this is like. I did change to the more Xbox circular one for now. Repair the anomaly. I haven't played Ratchet & Clank in a while. The micro switches do feel quite nice compared to just the normal buttons. Now I don't think in Ratchet & Clank these are programmed at this moment in time. I've literally just booted it up. The only thing I did was plug the dongle in and Ratchet & Clank launched it, and that was it. So hopefully, don't know where I'm going, maybe this way. Maybe this way. But so far, this feels quite nice in terms of the controller feel. And I think we're going all the way up here. I think. We've got different weapons. This does feel nice compared to these potentiometer based sticks. I feel like, especially in games like Call of Duty or Apex Legends, you may be a bit more accurate. Right, who do I need to shoot? If anyone. I don't see anyone around. Can't go that way. We're gonna go this way. Let's have a look. Everything's so hot around here. Any enemies? Oh, there's a golden bolt. How do I get that? No, there are some enemies. Okay. I'm gonna try and see if I can get this golden bolt. Oh, the rumble feels nice over there. When I just hit those, that rumble was quite nice. Probably didn't hear that, but it was quite nice. Now I don't think, unless I can do that. Do I have to go around? I would assume. Unless, could I jump on this? Yeah, I think I might have to go around unless I get up these and then hover to it. It's probably the case. Unless, do I just go around here? Aha. So I have to go up there. Oh, I can just go around. That's alright. so far I am liking this controller. I will switch game once I get this golden ball. I will switch, but so far the rumbling does feel quite nice. We shall switch game in a moment to a first-person shooter. I will switch to Call of Duty and see what I like about this. There's another golden ball, 10 of 25. Right, we're launching Call of Duty. We're playing Kill Confirmed on shipment. Now, I do have to preface and say that I'm not a controller player in terms of FPS games. So we'll see how we do with this. It might be, I think, too slow in terms of what my actual thing is like right now, in terms of aim sensitivity, but let's see what this is like. Press X, change it, let's see what this is like. Okay, not too bad. This feels quite nice, this controller, compared to like a DualSense. So far I'm quite liking this. Yeah, I think I need to up my sensitivity. What? Where's he gone? Let's up my sensitivity. And so put from 4 to 5. And we'll see how we do. Oh. We'll switch to a different weapon, I think. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, actually, this is actually perfect timing. Just do a little bit of the game just to play. But I would actually say, so far, I would recommend a third-party controller over a first-party controller, I would say. And this G7 Pro seems to be pretty good for what you get, I would say, to be honest. So I would recommend it. I'll put a link in the description below if you would like to purchase it. There is a Black Friday sale at this moment, so I don't know how long that's going to last until. But I quite like it, and I think I'll definitely be using it as my main controller from now on. So thank you very much for watching. I will keep an update. I will actually make a short on an update of it in a few weeks time, like I did with the Nerdax Q++, just because obviously with the first initial review you've only had it for about 5 minutes, whereas a few weeks or a month through you'll get to know its quirks and features. That's from Doug DeMiro on that one. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in a different video. Enjoy.